kaku e meronrea e lurime sabakadu sabak e kurkaku e meronrea e lurime sabakadu.
So what is taught in basic sailing class is to disconnect the halyard from the sail at the end of the sailing day and move it to the end of the boom, and then tighten up on the main halyard so it'll support the end of the boom, and it also prevents any kind of halyard slap. And we'll do that if we're in a nice secure marina, but out cruising the islands we'll always leave it attached to the main sail, just in case we have to make a quick departure in the middle of the night or the day. We don't know what the weather is going to be doing or what the local situation is going to be. So the problem then becomes how to stow the halyard. We can bring it around the bottom of the winch and tighten up on the halyard, but the problem there is no matter how hard you pull on the halyard, there's always going to be some halyard slap, especially when the wind picks up and now it sounds like a cannon. So there's two remedies. We can take the halyard, get a lot of slack in it, and whip it out and around the spreader, and then pull back. That's much easier to do on smallish boats like 27, 30 feet, and it also is easy on those smaller boats to unwrap it. But the problem on these larger boats is as the wind picks up, the halyard can get pinned against the spreader and makes it very difficult to unsnag it. There's no wind today, so it's really no problem. But what we found is the best solution is to attach a halyard hook to the bottom side of the spreader. So now I can take this halyard, whip it around, catch it on the hook, bring it back underneath the winch and pull tight and cleat it off. Now we're ready to leave the anchorage anytime we want, very quickly, and we'll never have halyard slap. In all the years that we have used that halyard hook, I have never seen any wear or any chafe on the halyard because that hook is so nicely rounded and smooth. It just hasn't been an issue. This is the halyard hook. It's made of 3/8 inch plastic. You could go with 1/2 inch. That might give you a bit more of a rounded area in the throat where the halyard rides. But after cutting this out with a saber saw, I took the Dremel and just rounded all the edges. This has been a great tool. I resisted buying one for years, but now that I have it, I use it for a lot of small projects around the boat. But what I'll do, I'll take this hook and I'll draw it out on this sheet of paper. I'll take all the dimensions, I'll hold it up to the camera, so if you want to duplicate it, it should be fairly easy to do. Okay, I'll hold this up and you might be able to zoom in on it and trace on your screen the same profile. Might make it easier to duplicate, but also these are the dimensions. With the angle of the halyard now coming back to the mast because it's out on the halyard hook, we used to tuck in the sail cover behind the halyard and fasten it. But now we have a slit in the cover that accommodates that angle and everything works out just fine. One major problem for halyard slap was the running pole topping lift. There's no way I could pull down tight enough to keep it from slamming up against the mast when the wind's picked up. So what I had to do is install a fairlead about 3 feet down below the turning block, and another fairlead about 3 feet below that one, and then the third block was about 4 feet below the middle one. And at that point, the angle coming off the mast was such that it just couldn't slam up against the mast anymore. Well, I hope this video was helpful to you, and if it was, please give us a thumbs up and possibly subscribe to the channel. We'll try to put up some more videos soon,
Hey, thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Ikerkaku elronrear elurime sawakadu. Sama